Well, hello and welcome to everybody on YouTube. Welcome to Partick Hill Station. It's Charlie here, and I'll be doing a little bit of running of LMS Locos of a certain vintage. Now, I'm just going to be adding in an additional camera, having had the usual problems setting up and encountered audio echoes. So just bear with me for a minute or two while we get things organized. And I've chosen to run specific Locos today because I've been working on servicing Locos and adjusting the gauges on wagons that you may have seen on a couple of earlier videos. So we're going to try and follow up on that today. And in the meantime, you can see that LMS 6244 going around. Now that's a very early Triang model, and when I bought it, it was in pieces, and only in the last couple of days I've been able to get the tender top attached back onto the chassis, as someone had snapped the plastic moulding in the inside, into which the screw from the bottom of the chassis would go into. And I tried crazy glue a couple of times and eventually got it to stick in place. Now, I'm not sure where the screws are for the body, but I'm working on trying to locate them. In the meantime, the local body is just sitting on there. So here we go with we've got a second one in there, and we'll see what else we can get running. Now I seem to have a little bit of an echo, but not 100% sure how I'm going to get it. I'll try that. Anyway, so as I said, I've been working on fixing some Locos and gauging the wheels on some wagons. If anybody has seen the last two videos, please let me know. Now, the other one, as you see coming around, is the Triang Princess. It's pulling a Spitfire on the cab transporter, which I modified. And it's got a rake of Triang composite coaches there. So it's able to go there, no problem. Just try to make some adjustments in the audio, try and get rid of the echo. Not sure how it's working. Now, you may have seen in one of the earlier videos the adjustments I was making to wheel sets on the wagons. And like many of the coaches, and I think these ones in particular, you can't adjust the wheels because of plastic. Then we've got one of those square plastic axles. Most likely I'll have to replace them because I've been finding that many of the coaches come off the track at some of the points. So they're both working quite well, and I think that's the sort of optimum speed for the Princess, because I think if I allow it to go any faster, it might bob around and eventually come off the track. So if you can hear and see the broadcast, can you let me know? And especially if you find that little bit of an echo annoying. Now the tender on the Royal Scots just a little bit wobbly. We have to do some additional work on that. Yeah, so you see, that's what happens for no apparent reason. And I can only guess that what's going on is that the wheels are out of round, and that's what causes the problem. Because it'll run okay until such point that, well, it'll run okay until it hits one particular point, and that's when it just goes off. Well, I just had a look on YouTube and everything seems to be fine there. Now, I believe that this Triang is King George V. I need to check in my book, but it's, as I said, it's been in the box for some time under the table, and didn't really give it a lot of attention until the last week. It's missing the steam whistles on the top of the body. A little bit scraped up, but otherwise it's something. I wonder if that's made it. I was trying to make some adjustments there, but I don't think it's helped. Yeah, same point, same carriage. Yeah, I'm not really sure the problem, but most likely it's some wheel set. Maybe we'll bring that one in, give it a rest. Okay. Yeah, let's just change it up here a second. So there's the Royal Scot Fusilier, singular, and it's pulling a rake of grain tankers that you may have seen in the previous video. They've all had their wheels gauged and it seems to be working quite well. I think everybody must be either having supper or watching the Europa Cup final or someone else's channel. Bit of a change of pace here. Keep all the diesel fans happy. Now this wasn't planned, but that's what happens. You can also do a little bit of DC and get more than one train running on one track in DCC or DC. Let me fix this. Now, I have two of those 4Fs, and I noticed on the local market, Facebook market, that someone was selling a 4F plus two coaches, crimson and green coaches, suburban type. And they were wanting $80 for them. But given that I've got two of those locomotives, I couldn't really see myself going for a third. It's been about 31 degrees here the last few days. As I have the layout in the basement, it's pretty cool down here because we're below ground level, and with the air conditioning on, cold air kind of settles in the basement. And the one thing you can do about it is get a dehumidifier and try and take the humidity out of the air. So I have begun the process of modifying the layout. I'll just show you here. Yeah, too many wires here. Anyway, in here, I had another point which would have come around here into an area that I was planning to use for local storage. But the Locos were having a problem getting through that point, so I decided to remove it, and then I'll install a third track through here, and I'll modify this area here so that I've got 3 main lines. Yeah, I need to put the camera down for a second, and it's a little bit slow in reacting. And once again, you know, because you get different style of, different manufacturers of wagons, you often, or at least I often, get an issue with something either binding up with the couplings or a combination of that with the wheels. So you really have to pay attention. And, you know, of course, it could just be that the wheel sets are not perfect, or maybe it's just the points. So the whisky distilleries in this area have been pretty busy producing the best Scotch. So I'm just waiting on this camera reacting. I'm just going through the process of trying to get a third camera in here. So it's a challenge. So something I want to show you that you might be interested in as another tip or trick, something that you can use on your own layout in terms of loads. Not having much success with this third camera. And we just try and stick with this one. Anyway, we'll see if we can pick it up here with this camera. So what I wanted to show you was this tin foil. Now that's from a baking pan. You can get one from your wife, or next time she's at the store, ask her to pick you up a few, and then just flatten it out, and you'll get it to a nice flat sheet just like that. So then there's a wagon, and what I did was I cut it so that this strip would be just less than the width of the wagon. Now you can do a few things here. I'm going to see if I can do this. All right. So there's the wagon, and here's the sheet. Now, what I was thinking of doing, now you can use anything suitable for this, but I thought I would try and roll this up. I'm just using a screwdriver, just as an example. And if you do this, you need to make sure that you glue it as you go. But the whole idea is get it on as tight as you can and use as much as you can. And then you'll see there, you got the beginnings of a roll of steel. Now I think that's pretty cool and very simple. You can change the diameter. Maybe that's a little bit too big. As you see here, it should probably be smaller than that. And so find something suitable and then take your tinfoil sheet, cut it to the required width, and then start rolling it and glue it as you go. And you can see how well that turned out just by simply rolling it over the screwdriver. Anyway, I thought you would like that little tip and trick, and you can sit and make a whole wagon load of those very easily. And once you get the hang of it, then you can make a dustbin with the lid. And that's sort of a different scale, but it's amazing what you can do. And of course you can use the chain here to tie the rolls down. Now I also found these blocks at the dollar store. And you can cover them with the same tinfoil and make it into scrap, or you can paint them up with some suitable brown colours and make it look as if it's a box. So there's a few things that you can do for next to nothing. Then of course there's my corrugated iron fence. Yeah, there's all kind of stuff you can do. Anyway, this is obviously a bad time to be broadcasting. And I'm just going to go back into YouTube. And yeah, I'm live on YouTube, but there's nobody there. Oh, there's two watching. That's pretty good, but I'm not really sure who the two participants are. If you could just let me know. Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. And enjoyed the running of some of these older Triang locomotives. And you can see this one over here is the Royal Scots Fusilier is slowing down, and I guess it's tired and running out of steam. And I'm not really sure why that would happen. Maybe it requires a little bit of extra juice now and again. And I hope you also enjoyed the diesel locomotives that I had out today, and the variety of wagons that I've made available to go en route. So if you've enjoyed this, give me the thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. And once again, thanks very much for joining me here at Partick Hill Station for the tips and tricks and for the running of some trains, LMS, British Rail, etc. And we'll see you next time at Partick Hill Station. Bye for now.